Hi, I'm Pete from Munsticle, and this is the first in our series of episodes where we're going to be looking at the kinds of clothing that you're going to want to wear at winter obstacle course races. Now, a lot of the time at winter events, you're probably going to be fine wearing similar kind of clothing that you're going to wear for training in the winter time. You know, whether that be a base layer underneath a t-shirt or just a pair of leggings underneath. And you know, as long as you're not getting wet for very long periods of time, you're probably going to be fine wearing that kind of thing. It's really where you need to make the consideration about kind of upping your game a little bit in terms of clothing is when you're going to the races where there are extended periods of exposure, where you're getting wet a lot, and you're basically going to be out in the elements for 2, 3, 4 hours. So those kinds of races that we're talking about, it's going to be the likes of Tough Guy in January, or doing multiple laps of nuts in March. In these series of episodes, we're going to kind of look at some of the common things, some of the things I've tested already, as well as some stuff that's going to be completely new to me, and I'll kind of be being your guinea pig and kind of seeing how it goes. So today I'm going to try something new, but I'm also going to be sticking to a couple things that I really can recommend. The first of which is a pair of neoprene gloves. I picked these up off, I think it was Amazon maybe. I picked them up for about, must have been between about 10 and 15 pounds. I particularly like these ones. I've got a few pairs of neoprene gloves. These TWF ones, although the palm may not look as grippy as some of the neoprene gloves you get, some have got kind of this slick rubbery kind of look to them. These I found have been really brilliant. They've gripped on, I've never noticed them being particularly slippery when I've been at events, so I highly recommend these. And actually, I got through last winter's punishing Tough Guy, as well as 4 laps of nuts last March wearing these, and to be honest, my hands were the least of my worries, so I never felt cold in these things. They're brilliant. So I'm going to be wearing these at most of the winter events this year because they're tried and tested. The other thing I'm going to definitely be wearing for most events is a pair of Merino wool socks. So these are smart wool. You can get a whole range of them. I'm going to be doing a different episode which is going to be mostly dedicated to Merino wool. It can be a bit expensive, but I think it's worth investing at least one pair of socks just to be wearing on race day. It's particularly good stuff for keeping your feet warm. But the new item of clothing that I will be testing for this episode is something that I've picked up following a recommendation from someone else. And it is a thermal rash vest from O'Neill. Now, this series is called their Thermo X range. So basically, it's a surfing rash vest. It's made for wearing underneath wetsuits. What's slightly different about this one compared to some rash vests is that it's actually it's water resistant. So to an extent, I think water will be rolling off it. Also, it's thermal, so it's kind of got a fleecy lining to it just here. So hopefully that's going to keep us a bit warmer when it starts getting colder. Whether, although it is water resistant, when it gets soaked, I'm not quite sure how that fleecy lining is going to react. So we're going to give that a good testing today to see what happens. But I picked this up for about £30. So it's slightly more than just a cheap old bit of kit, but if it's the sort of thing that's going to help us get through the particularly chilly ways, then it might be worth it. So let's give it a try. Okay, so after trying it on, it's a little bit tight, to be honest. I'd normally take a large. To be honest, I think if you're thinking about getting one of these, maybe you'd want to go a size up, because I'm feeling slightly tight in. Maybe it's not as long in the arms as it could be. Generally though, it's kind of it's feeling pretty warm. As soon as I put it on, it is like putting on a pair of thermal leggings that you used to wear. So whether that kind of comfort is going to stay, whether it's going to get uncomfortable when you're running and you're sweating, those are the things I'm about to go and find out. So it's not the coldest morning outside, it's about 5 degrees, but I'm gonna go for a run, gonna try and find somewhere to get myself a bit wet, and maybe stand around in the cold a little bit and see what happens with it. So, stand by. Okay, I just got back from my run, testing this O'Neill long sleeve Thermo X Rash vest, and actually I handled it pretty well. Of course it was about 5 degrees, so you know, of course these races can get a bit colder than that, but it felt pretty good before I got wet. It felt okay when I was getting wet, and afterwards, after the kind of the longer, deeper dip that I had there, it did start to feel a little bit cold on the inside, and it took quite a while to warm up. But to be honest, I think it's doing okay. Oh, hello! I'll just introduce you to my cat. This is Ziggy. He's our number 2 tester. He'll be testing out a neoprene vest later on in the week. So stay tuned for more from Ziggy. Okay, on your way. Back to it. So yeah, I think actually for £30, it's not a bad option. You know, I think it's hard to say whether 3 hours out in negative conditions is gonna hold up to that. But you can always add a neoprene vest on top of it, maybe to kind of give a little bit more protection around the core. But yeah, I think it's definitely is an affordable option, and it's certainly going to serve you a lot better than just a regular base layer with a t-shirt over the top will do. It will protect from the wind a bit better, and it will feel a lot warmer on the inside. Okay, I think one of the downsides really of it for me is the sizing. You know, it's annoying. I've got this top, and it seems to be a size too small. Even if it was a size larger, I think it would still be quite short in the body. So if you are longer bodied like I am, it might be a little bit annoying. Of course, the important thing really is to kind of, for me, I think, is to keep the chest warm and keep the heart ticking along. So to have a little bit of gappage around your belly, it's more of an annoyance rather than anything. Okay, we're going to be testing lots more stuff over the coming weeks. We're going to be looking at merino wool, we're going to be looking at neoprene vests, and if you have any suggestions for anything else or any requests, then please do leave us a message on the video, or send us a message on Facebook or on the website, or talk to us on the forum. Thanks for joining us.